And da, 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 da. Cool. Okay. We are Gucci Gang. I hope I hope we're loud enough. We should be loud enough.
Speak up. I learned to speak up a little bit.
I like how you said that pretty quiet.
Yeah, and it didn't help. I had to clear the throat. Don't want to do that too loud because that sounds gross.
Alright, everyone. We are doing week 1 replay watch together with Mr. Misfit here.
Evening?
Is it? It's afternoon, buddy. It's not evening yet.
Always evening.
Yeah, alright. First up, we have Stoin versus Mr. Daddy Ghost Elijah. This was a fun match. So the Dugtrio lead was pretty interesting. It was really good into the Ninetales. Because, like, the Ninetales lead is... see, I'll clear my throat in the camera. In the camera? In the mic. Yeah, the Alola Ninetales lead was pretty obvious there, so I liked the A-Dug lead. What I didn't like, however, was that.
Stoin did not read that well. I believe it was probably prepped for something else there, is what I assumed, and he just said, we're just going to sack it.
I don't know. I get the feeling that he thought there was going to be a switch, and there
Nothing.
wasn't.
Yeah,
But, like,
yeah.
why would he switch? There was a Dugtrio in the face of it. What does Goldango do? Shadow Ball?
Maybe, if that, and it doesn't even hit it down that much. You got to expect a Terra there somewhere.
Yeah.
Normally, people try to go for it right away.
Measly Sucker Punch, but chip damage is chip damage.
Hurricane hitting is just amazing. You gotta love.
Does it have its accuracy? I can't talk. Accuracy lowered in the snow?
I don't.
I know it gets lowered in sun.
I've actually never had to check
To,
that.
to the internet.
Hurricane boosted.
I can type. Oh, that didn't help. I don't want snow warning. Da, 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 da. I like how it gives you the fucking thing for drought, drizzle, and sandstream, but it doesn't give me. Oh wait, I guess snow. See, this is not. Oh, because that's the ability. I want the terrain. Weather? Nope, that just pulls up.
No, it does nothing in snow. It's just sunlight and it's guaranteed in rain. So it was a complete and utter gamble.
I guess I could have solved this equation by looking at hurricane itself. Yeah, no, it's literally only during rain and sunlight. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just shot in the dark. Feels bad.
Good hit.
Feels bad.
This fucking Lycanroc Muk shit was so funny.
Uh,
And I will do it again. I did like that Shadow Sneak. It was a good little way out. It was a way to break Sash.
If nothing else, he realized that there's nothing else the Mon could do. It was, if nothing else, prepped for the to live against the Lycanroc, which had to have been some investments, whether or not that was intentional or not, who knows, but I mean, it did live, it did do its job and get something in.
Absolutely.
Priority Shadow Sneak is funny.
Priority Shadow Sneak is funny.
Everyone forgets about Muck. Everyone remembers Alolan, but not the OG.
Oh, geez, where it's at, man. Stench, Sticky Hold, good move pool.
Right?
Oh, that was funny. I love that. Go Lycanroc.
21% on that Shadow Sneak as well. It's non-boosted.
Now, I do understand switching out of Lycanroc. What I do not understand, however, is switching into Salamence.
I don't know if it was prepped for the expensive Rhydon Terra. I gotta give it to Stoin. I've never seen this set.
This set's gross.
This set is super gross and
gross.
needs to be respected. Very nice choice in Terra Captain. Nice choice in bringing water as well, because water does pretty well for him into most of the team. Just giving it that triple, just kind of neutral. It's just disgusting.
Yes. The thing that bugs me though is the Stone Edge miss, because that saved Eli. That did save him. The Stone Edge miss, that would have probably done some damage to Silence, and he should have switched out then and there.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, because he was going to Swords Dance or not, and that was it. God, Rhydon just puts in work, dude, and you have to prep really hard for the Terra Water.
See, okay, and he tried to threaten a few turns later for the Rhydon rather than going for it immediately. As soon as you see that Rhydon out, you immediately need to find a way to deal with it. The Salamence on the back end probably should have been a way to finish hitting the chip at the Rhydon rather than just trying to see if it could hit it as it set up in its face.
Yeah.
Which after a turn or two, it's pretty apparent as to just go for a dragon boosted move.
Yep. Get that stab in. I made that mistake in my matches, we'll see. That was rude. That just gypped by the 1%, man. Every time. Gypped by the 1. Feels bad. Look at that. 8, 6, 6, 5.
Unlucky roll.
Unlucky roll. The 6% was a critical hit here. Man, that feels bad.
Would love to know what his personal set is.
Finish it off here. Good shit. The fake tears was interesting. Unfortunately, the screens up didn't help.
I don't know if he didn't realize that it set screens.
A9? I mean, that's always kind of been its niche, is set snow, Aurora Veil, dip.
Didn't make the calcs and maybe put screens into the equation.
Maybe. What I will say is funny here is the baton pass with the negative special defense drop, which would have been an absolute beauty if it got switched into anything else that wasn't Samurott. Because that future sight would have freaking hurt. Good Draining Kiss, though. That flip turn was nasty. Was that banded? Like, that thing had to have been banded.
I think so.
That thing had to have been banded.
Good momentum, though.
Oh, yeah.
Puts him in a good spot. Volt Switch switches it out. Puts him into whatever does well into his team.
Now he can take the future sight that's coming in. Cecil's Edge takes care of Cerule Edge. Wow, that was a rhyme. See, like, that did so much damage for not very effective, you know what I mean? Get that Samu out of here.
Lower rolls on that, and that almost would have lived for that Samurott, though.
He got his revenge, though. Living on the 1?
Yeah, living on the 1. I mean, it's just a shame because Zapdos is so bulky. There's just no way. And the static.
With the static was just rude.
It's just not enough. Never is.
No.
Good job to Stoin. He really utilized his Terra Captain a lot better. Elijah needed better switch-ins or to threaten other mons, I think a little faster.
I really think this came down to a matchup, just the 6 versus the 6. I mean, Zapdos, didn't want to restart the whole thing. Zapdos is good into his entire roster, minus the Doug Trio, which we got rid of really quick.
Yeah.
The Dark typing into this team was really good as well. There was just not much that Elijah had to do to break through, I feel, because this is a solid core. The losing the Doug Trio right away really hurt. That would have been nice to get some. Well, I guess we didn't really need it to get Muck out of the way, but it would have been nice to piss off an Ironhead into
It did get Killamon, so it's not like it was useless.
And it killed Goldango, which is a big hit, because Goldango puts in work against this entire team. Like Salamence, Espeon, Cerulege, they don't like it.
I definitely think he should have tried to keep it on the back line a little more and tried to preserve it for other Mons in the team as well.
Why does that say Urshifu fighting Dark? I wonder if it's just a sprite error.
Probably.
That's really funny. Yeah. I will say though, on the note that the matchups weren't favorable in Elijah's favor, bringing it down to a 2-0 differential, very well done. Very well done. A higher roll into Zapdos further into the match would have done you good here. Would have brought it down to 1. A9 doesn't have much offense to it besides a Blizzard, so like if you would have been able to get that Zapdos down, maybe there could have been something going on, maybe. But yeah, no. Well played on both parts, gentlemen. I'm looking forward to see what you guys do in week 2. On to the next. We got the back-to-back Eli bros, Mr. Eli Stone and Ronin versus Mr. Nibblesnarf. This was a fun match. Eli coming into this was the bottom power ranking, and experience-wise, I feel like he's probably one of the newest people in the league. So seeing a game like this come out of him was pretty awesome.
He stuttered a few times throughout the match of just should have chose different moves, should have pivoted a little sooner. This turned out to be a bit more of a close match than initially was thought.
I agree, 100%.
Focus Blast hitting is always lovely.
He hit every impossible odds move. Every single one, which is a huge contributing factor when all of your Focus Blasts and shit hit throughout a match, because like
you a gambling man? I'm a gambling man. U-turn is good because it gives them the auto momentum.
That
there should have been another switch right there.
Yep.
I don't think he realized Azumarill had the priority or forgot Azumarill has priority. Azumarill, huge power, just needs to be respected.
Absolutely. Especially when you have a 4 times weakness to it, man. I mean, it's one of those things, but like also, you had the switch-ins. That Rotom would have tanked that. B-Sharp would have tanked that. Those are really it, actually. You could have thrown in Thundurus in front of it, but this hurt. Yep. That's just the name of the game. The lightning into the ground or the electric into the ground is just the way she goes. Good switch here. I was threatening. Bringing the Deoxys in face of the bug really hurt, and that crit was just rude.
Arguably, he could have went for the Quiver Dance instead of hitting it there. I do like his decision to just hit it before it switches out for the residual trip.
I agree.
It was a little risky because he could have switched out, but it paid off for him, so can't really say much of anything. Yeah,
can't hate. Good defog there into the Magmar switch in. Bam! Hydro Pump hits. There she blows.
The burn on the Rotom Wash isn't that big of a deal, so if anything's going to eat the burn, it sucks to have the residual damage on your Wash, but I mean, it's
tanky. There are worse options.
Yeah, I was going to say it's tanky enough, I think, to eat the burn all game and still play well.
And, yeah, absolutely. Good Willow on the Azu here. That was fantastic. You could have easily just clicked Thunderbolt or Volt Switch again to try to hit it. But he risked sending the Toad Scroll, which is what happened here. Welcome to Pokemon. You know, I knew it hit neutral, but I expected it to do a lot more damage. Toad Scroll is kind of tanky.
Toad Scroll is very tanky. I would have, especially after the first few switch-ins, when he's predicted you twice on it, I think very quickly, as a newer player, you have to look at this and go, okay, I now have to immediately put respect behind this Mon. How do I deal with this? Every time I see this, I need to find something to threaten it with.
Yep.
I don't like seeing it. it's hard to switch into. You want to try to get rid of it ASAP. This way, you can start hitting those thunderbolts and those thunders as well.
Right, because after that they're free. I
Yeah.
mean, he can't. He switches an Articuno into a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch, Azu into a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch, and that hurts. Deoxys is low enough that a well placed Thunderbolt
Would eat it up, but as long as that Toad Scroll's there,
it would eat it up. But it would I still think it would two hit it at least. At 19% Deoxys defense, this thing probably didn't have special attack EVs, so like that's also a reason why that Hydro Pump didn't do shit. But like just bad switch-ins into the
Toad Scroll. I think you immediately have to start trying to respect it a little more and trying to play around it, as that's your problem. And after that, you can probably deal with the rest of the team.
Yep.
Which gotta give it to.
This was so funny. Like there was, Acid Spray is such an out of the park move that there is no way in hell that was predicted.
Nope, it was just.
That was unlucky. It was just one of those things where you're like, fuck it, I'm going to send this thing in. Okay. But.
You try to bring funny tech, it doesn't work every week,
It doesn't work every week. The Iron Head not flinching was a little cheeks. That hurt. Good tank, though. Eviolite B-Sharp is nothing to scoff at.
No, and he still wins.
That Sucker Punch play was pretty. That Sucker Punch play was nice.
Well, he had realized it has nothing. I mean, he could have went for the Spore.
Right.
He could have went for the Spore. He didn't. So it was, you do what you can. It works out for him.
Amazing read here, also in his favor. Doing the research on the Terra Captains and knowing that Articuno was a viable option for Terra Captain. That was, I don't know if that was predicted. I don't know if that was on a whim, like the B-Sharp play. I have no idea. But that was an amazing switch-in. That was an amazing switch-in. That probably saved, well, obviously it did save B-Sharp, but that.
The Therian is pretty good into his team as well. At some point or another, you need to kind of deal with the fact it's asleep. As much as you hate it, you have to. Yeah, just get it out of the way, get it awake, switch it out when it's awake again. This way you can outspeed whatever you need to, because it's decently fast.
Especially in the face of an Articuno. As we've shown, this Torn is tanky. Like, it has special defense investment for sure. I'm pretty sure he ran this Assault Vest as well this week. So, in the face of an Articuno who's going to be firing off special attacks, yeah, get it out, get it awake. What's it going to do? Especially now that it's Terra fighting. Like, the Psychic moves hit neutral, and that hurts, but the switch-in was rough. Wasted sleep turn, nice. Another sleep turn down.
You hate to see it went another turn longer than it normally does, and in another turn. But at least you got out of the way, because trying to deal with that late into the game is just not fun.
No.
The knockoff is huge.
The recovery on Deoxys was big. Recovery on Deoxys was huge. Good switch in here into the future sight. That was also a really good play. Just really good plays from Eli's part. This was really funny. I really loved this taunt play. Watching it happen live time. Josh thought he was going to go for a Swords Dance sweep. Homie hit T-Wave.
Gotta love it.
Which was a little risky, actually, considering the Azu was already burned. Magmar, yeah, I guess it hurts Magmar. Doesn't really affect Deoxys much.
You just hope you don't replace the Azumarill.
Right. Good Terra into the Flamethrower. Good defog here. Good use of the Frostmoth.
Arguably, instead of the defog, he tried to...
I want to know how the hell that did so much goddamn damage. Like, I know Frostmoth is not tanky. I know...
Jolly... No, not Jolly. Adamant, Azumarill, Huge Power, Banded is pretty nasty.
Yeah, I guess the defense is pretty cheeks, but she's burned.
I mean... Huge power.
So that's literally just mitigating the huge power.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You still have adamant, max attacks, and
Choice
if it's
band.
banded.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it still hits. The burn puts in work, because if not, it would have killed it there. It would have killed it without the burn.
Absolutely. See, that's like I said earlier. That Psyshock still. He hit every hurricane. Good U-turn there.
Second game in, and we still haven't seen a future sight hit it.
No, Future Sight's just not been the moves.
Everyone knows the shenanigans, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Good focus blast
good
there.
focus blast there. Yes, absolutely. That was fantastic. That one hurt so goddamn bad. He needed to kill that there.
For the Magmar being a low cost draft option, I will say before it dies, it did a lot more work for his team than I think most people would immediately have given it credit for.
Agreed. 100% agreed. I will say this was a huge misplay. This was a huge misplay. He's at 3%, right? No Toad Scroll. Thunderbolt and Volt Switch are 100% accurate. If you would have missed that Hydro Pump, I don't know exactly what the Magmar could have done in your face with what Substitute Will-O-Wisp. He could have hit you with the Focus Blast and killed you, which, like, I don't know if losing Rotom would have affected the rest of the outcome of the game, but when you're playing in a setting where the amount of Pokemon you have at the end of a match matters, differential matters, you want to mitigate your losses. That was a high risk, not very high reward play because there were so many safer options. Volt Switch arguably was the
Volt Switch should have been the play.
See, I don't actually agree. Like, yes, momentum is nice, but on the kill, he would have had to U-turn, or he would have had to bring in his Pokemon before Josh gets to pull in a Pokemon. Like, yes, he only has Articuno and Deoxys, but that does give him that advantage of, okay, so this is who he has now. What the fuck do I bring in?
I say, I mean, you Volt Switch, you bring out Therian, and Therian laughs in the face of, I think, most of what he brings out.
This is definitely true. This is definitely true.
Pump hits.
Pump hits didn't matter. Yes, of course, didn't matter. But I think, yeah, too high of a risk. Brought out the Torn anyway. That Freezing Glare was just rough. Sacks it here. Decent sack. Good regenerator play. Nice Hurricane. That
arguably could have
pivoting.
Sacked the Moth instead and left up the Rotom because the Moth was lower. The Moth isn't going to do much. It doesn't outspeed much anyways. It's already done its boosted shenanigans, and you hope to keep the Rotom to maybe switch into Deoxys.
I will say, though, Deoxys didn't have any attacking moves. Oh, yes, it did. It had Future Sight. I knew that.
But doesn't matter. Therian sweeps it out.
Therian sweeps it out, yep. Putting in the work, especially on a defensive set. On a defensive set. 1 second, guys. I am getting a phone call. All right. Well, I'm dumb and can't figure out this stupid chat thing. To answer your first question, Dallas, no, we haven't. To answer your second question, Dallas, yes, we will. It will be going up to YouTube with timestamps and everything. We finish this Johnny Johnson right here, and we're going on to the next. Mr. Misfit.
All right, so before we even start off this one, what we can say is Dallas forgot to bring a item on Baxcalibur. I did not choose my correct Terra Captain.
Well,
I still had a legal Terra Captain, however, I had opted not to bring Ghost Stab this week, so the Ghost Terra arguably did me nothing during the matchup. I had brought Punishing Fire, completely spacing Baxcalibur's ability. If we were to redo it with me bringing the Terra Electric and Dallas bringing the item on his Baxcalibur, there's no telling where this matchup could have gone. It was still relatively even going through. So we go right into it. Lead with the Chi-Yu into the Snarl. Nice light screen there. The Fire Blast missed. Feels bad. I completely spaced Spirit Break was an ability. The Enamorous did not chunk that as well as I had hoped.
no, God no.
So that was beautiful play on Dallas's part. I immediately have to adjust to that. I do get the boost off of it. I opt for the switch as I think he did outspeed me if I'm not mistaken.
It's a Snorlax, more than likely.
Yeah, so we're hopefully trying to save it. Lax threatens, the Armor Rouge comes in, double switch, which is nice.
Good little chunk Earthquake. That Earthquake would have been nasty without that Reflect.
Yeah, the Reflect there still puts in work.
Terra Electric there would have mitigated that damage.
Yep, by quite some chunk. Even without that, the Misdrevious still put in a lot more work than I would have gave it credit for.
Oh, absolutely. This thing was great.
Double Screams, T-Wave. I read that Spirit Break a lot better for that Dawn Fan, which is lovely. Free Stealth Rock. Stun Spore into the Snorlax hurts a little. Arguably, it's the best thing that could have ate the Paralyze.
The Iron Hand was pretty gross. Into the flinch.
Yep. Feels bad. Not a whole lot you can do. Resisted for the Quackavola is nice. I set up in its face because I was pretty sure I threatened it. Arguably, I should have brought Bulk Up.
I was just about to say.
Arguably, I should have brought Bulk Up
in like 3 turns.
I was trying to go for a faster sweep.
I mean, I get it, but you have Moxie.
Yeah.
You have Moxie. You set up your faster sweep. This Vileplume was crazy.
Even though the Sword Stance did chunk that Vileplume pretty decent.
Good knockoff too, getting rid of the lefties. Moonblast did 70%. Like, I know it's Terra Fairy, so it was stab, but like, Vileplume?
So
go off.
At that point, I had pretty much figured, as much as I liked Quackavola, just sacking it and just getting the knockoff.
That's valid.
The Vileplume was going to be an issue. I was pretty sure it had some form of recovery anyways. Not having the additional leftovers is nice for the team. My team needs that chip damage most times.
Yes. Good Dark Pulse here.
Dark Pulse was the safest option.
Yep.
Into most of the team.
Yep, I agree. Nice para there. Terra Stab Thunderbolt would have been... So, I will say, obviously, Bax having an item is huge, but I genuinely think, and S&B, please don't take any offense to when I say this, I think this was your match.
Yeah.
You had this match on so many different occasions.
It just... don't forget to double check your Terras. Always double check your Mons.
You did it. Everybody does it. Everybody does it, and you did it. Terra Electric would have resisted the Volt Switch.
But he still switched out, and...
Good kill. Mischievous bag in a body is insane. This, right here. Burning
I
jealousy.
completely spaced it had thermal exchange.
Yep.
Completely spaced it had thermal exchange. That's my bad. I didn't take note of it in prep. I kind of skipped over it. I didn't really prep for backs at all. Most of my prep was based around other things he had in his roster. I was expecting Sandy Shocks instead of the backs, so I was panicking a little, especially once I hit this, because now I have a fully set up Mon right in my face and behind screen. Arguably, he went for the full setup instead of trying to just hit.
He did get greedy. He did get greedy, which...
If he didn't get greedy, I think he could have cleaned it out a lot faster.
Absolutely.
The T-Wave from the Mischievous was huge.
Good punish there, though. I will say, yes, he got... I think that first Dragon Dance, or the... Which one? That Dragon Dance made sense, right? That was a good Dragon. This one, that one right there, the second one that he popped, that was the greedy one. That was the greedy one. Because that para, you should have just killed Mr. Abyss and punished. This, however, this one, that was a good Swords Dance. He had a feeling that you were going to want to keep your Terra Captain alive because it was probably going to die that turn, right? Switching into Snorlax, which...
So, at this point, my thought was to try to sack the Lax to try to bring in, I believe, the Nabernus or the Chi-Yu fresh.
Valid, yep.
I need to respect, even though it's paralyzed, it's probably still going to outspeed a good chunk of my team.
And that's exactly why I said I think that third Swords Dance was not a greedy one. That was an amazing Swords Dance because that was a 50-50. There was a, does he stay and does he switch? And either way, that put him, now he speeds. Now he has his extra speed boost, which is nice.
I have to hope for the paralyzed chance.
Yep. Which is very nice. The fucking Chi-Yu here. Yep. That
paralyzed.
That para would have been crucial.
Dark Pulse is just safe. I'm already locked into it. It was a Specs set.
I gotta give it to Hitmonchan, bro. That special defense is nutty.
Yeah.
Nutty.
Homer is one of my go-to names for Snorlax. It's either Homer or Fat Man.
Suavemente.
Bésame. Gotta love that name. Also, shout out to the Terminal Montage for doing that for the Ganondorf as well, as I've had that stuck in my head for weeks.
That's funny.
Freaking weeks, man.
The damn bots are flooding the chat. Oh no. Alright.
The Hitmonchan was very rough for me. I also did not prep for it.
Great Terra Captain. Amazing showcase for both Terra Captains, I will say. Amazing showcase for both Terra Captains.
Nice read with the treads.
Absolutely. Again,
you
got greedy.
I did. I didn't think he was going to go for it. I was expecting he did so many switches.
This is where I think you threw the match. Not right here. I'm just leading into it. So, into the Mischievous. Psychic, you lived.
And then I went for...
You went for the pain split.
I did not... I thought I died regardless. I did not have a stat going at that time. So I was pretty sure I was dead regardless. I clicked just
Always
whatever.
Go for the kill.
I should have hit the chip damage.
You should have.
I should have just hit the chip damage.
Switch, this pain split...
Did. Fuck all.
Fuck all.
Fuck all. The bullet punch is nice.
Yep.
Once again,
and then you threw an Amorous here. You should have just switched into Donphan.
I did not realize the Donphan lived, because the Donphan did live here.
I think that came down to a roll. Like, let's be honest.
I should have tossed it in a different order.
Yep.
I thought the roll was higher for the Hitmonchan, because I wasn't sure what he invested in. The Ice Shard also critting, which is nutty late game. Arguably, I could have won that.
Excellent turnaround, though, Dallas. That was amazing. You did good. You did good because you had. I think that Baxcalibur, losing the Baxcalibur after the setup really hurt. which probably dampened your spirits just a wee bit. It had your spirit break. Haha. But yeah, excellent recovery there at the end, especially because Mike had a path to victory, didn't see it, and you said, fuck it, it's mine. Well played, sir. Well played. Well played to both of you.
I was going to say, just don't forget, double check your teams before you play your matches. And don't make dummy mistakes. Don't make it harder for yourself just because, you didn't double check things.
Yep.
So we play week 2 today. So we'll see if I make the same stupid mistake.
One tends to. All right. We've got Mr. Bozy versus Mr. Sven. Oh, hold on, let me read the chat. Close match. Yeah, Diff 1. Yeah, very close match. Very close.
The first close match of week 1, which puts both in an odd spot because it's not really a win or a loss, as you're still about middle of the board week 1.
Yep.
So you really do still have to prove yourself going into further weeks.
Bozy versus Mr. Sven.
Good old Lando Therian.
Good old Lando. Popping the toxic debris and the balloon, though, getting out of the way is nice.
Very nice balloon lead as well. It allows Glamora to kind of do its thing regardless in front of Therian. So that was a very good lead on what is he bringing first and foremost.
Yep.
What do I bring in response to that? So that was very nice prepping right there, or just good game knowledge in general.
I agree. Heavy duty boots on the Hitmontop is pretty nice. Mitigate chip damage, especially as your designated spinner for sure. That sludge wave did damage though, man. That was.
It did, but top still hit its thing.
Good crit on the Screamtail. That was nutty.
Screamtail just being sacked out immediately is sad.
It is. I don't remember the set on it, which is unfortunate.
Fairy Psychic is pretty decent to parts of his team, so you hate to see it go early.
It hits free. It hits free everywhere. The only thing that resists is nothing.
So the Ninetales is what had me curious, especially because he sees that gouging fire on Bozy's team.
Yeah, but I mean, look at his team. He had a Screamtail and a Walking Wake and Executor with Chlorophyll and Harvest. That's access to both sun moves. It was a safe option. You bring it. And this freaking Executor, man, oh my god. In with a Growth, I think was this turn? Yeah.
Good read. Sets up very nice.
Nice Giga. Shadow Ball just nuked.
You like the berry tech there, because the berry tech, instead of going for the slow regeneration, you'd much rather have it fully healed and then get re-upped with the Giga Drain. So it was very nice prep. There was some thought into the set.
Absolutely. I really appreciated this Executor. And, dude, the Giga into Whimsicott, that did so much damage.
Even resisted.
It resisted. Really sad to not see Whimsicott didn't get to do its shenanigans, but at least he got a Tailwind up. Tailwind is huge.
Tailwind does help a lot. It does something before going out, if nothing else.
Absolutely.
I like he waited so long to do the Ferretary. Really keep him guessing.
Ferretary? Don't worry.
Terra Fairy.
I do that shit all the time.
Holy crap. And the brain just strokes out at times.
It does.
And I wish I could say it again like that, just so casually.
Ferretary. Yeah, good Giga Drain recovery. Like, this Executor just doesn't die.
It resists the U-turn.
Into the U-turn was the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why. Like, the Eli's match versus Josh. He did the Lando switch into the Terra Blast, and that was a really good play. I don't know what it was about watching. Maybe because it's an Executor,
I think it's because he waited so late and he let the Mon fully set up. So at this point, Bozy really has to double and triple check, being like, what the hell is this Terra? Why hasn't he Terra'd yet?
Right.
Especially not seeing it for so long, for him to just suddenly pop it to resist the U-turn.
That was a 4-time super effective.
So it
from
was
a choice band.
Yep. Very nice. It still crits, so even though it
Yes.
crits, he still saves his butt, and the Executor still eats it, so you gotta love it.
That was
Just mind games, man.
just
mind games.
mind game shenanigans.
Mind games.
Yes, yes.
It's the best way to win sometimes. Just psych your opponent out. Stored power hits super nice there. He gets the free one, which
Unfortunately loses the stat buffs, but good sack of Glamora here. Good sack of Glamora. Like I know I made my comment earlier about trying to keep Mons alive for the sake of differential, but sometimes you need to do what you need to do for momentum.
yeah,
Keeping a Mon alive that needs to stay alive
having a fresh switch in and just winning that speed
and
tie
proccing
matters.
the toxic spikes.
Yep.
Because now Walking Wake, Gouging Fire does not like Walking Wake. However, that was a sick play. That 50-50, beautiful. Good bait. Good bait.
I don't know whether or not that gouging fire is choiced at all as
Yeah,
well.
I don't actually know if the Gouging Fire outsped the Wake there.
Because if it was choice locked, that was beautiful, but you still run that 50-50. I have no idea as to what gouging fire runs most times. Valiant just kind of outspeeds it. Lovely.
Yep. You know what I think it was? I think he wanted to get the Valiant out there. That way Valiant was fresh and in the face of something. Especially with rocks and spikes up, in hopes that he doesn't want to stay out in front of a Valiant.
As I say, it's either that or he's trying to force you have to switch into Hitmontop to start dealing with this. And
Hitmontop dies.
Yep, Hitmontop dies, so it's now you have to start playing around my hazards, which is nice.
That Earthquake was great. Man, Lando just...
But the Valiant did live, so it did not get one-shotted.
Nope. Good Volcanion here. Volcanion is just so tanky. Unfortunate poison chip damage. Nice tank of the Thunderbolt. Getting Valiant out of the way is huge. Unfortunately, going down in the process, and there's a fresh wake in your face. Never a good place. Never a good place. And he doesn't even have Sun up for this. This is all just raw.
See, and he played it very smart. He saved the wake till the very end. It comes in fresh after everything's all set up.
He has his core still. There is a water, fire, and grass type with pure synergy right there at the end. That way when it comes to late game shenanigans, he can switch and move as he needs to.
If he absolutely needs it, but the wake sweeps, I'm pretty sure he realized that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a nice keep of, that Mon at the end. Just Posey just didn't have enough momentum. I think fast enough getting rid of the hazards early was nice.
It was. There was a point in time where Mr. Sven could have gotten greedy, and he chose not to. It was right here. He sent out Wake. Yep. He could have easily attempted to send out Ninetales to get up Sun. He didn't need it, but he could have. And I've seen people fall for shit like that. Like, oh, well, I can. It's free. Might as well, right?
And then you lose all the residual chip because the top was able to get the spin.
Because then the top was able to get the spin. Lando would have hit Earthquake and just nuked the... Yeah. And Walking Wake probably still could have cleaned it up, no doubt, but you would have gone down differential. You potentially could have lost enough momentum there that it just shits on you in the end. And that wouldn't have been cool.
Good job to both. Good job to you, Sven. Nice tactics overall. Sven, definitely, you can tell there was some Mons with some thought. Definitely some prep behind that Executor. I don't know what the set is, if it's a personal set or whatever, but kudos, sir. Kudos.
Yes, I love that.
Kudos. Never seen a Terra Captain Executor. Gotta love it. A lot of great Terras.
A lot of great Terras.
A lot of great drafted Terra Captains.
Week 1, yeah. We've seen a lot of interesting Terra plays. And it's really cool that people came out of the gate and just, like... Because, a lot of times there's that, well, do I keep it for later? Do I use it now? Do I showcase this? And it's like, fuck it. We got these I've never used this thing. Let's see if it works. And when they do, they do. And so far...
I mean, if it's good, don't hold on to it for too long. You'd love to save it till late season and all, but if it helps you win the match, bring it ASAP.
Yep. Absolutely. GG's, folks. All right. We got Dramatic Wine versus Rick. First off, sorry to Dramatic Wine for the victim, being the first victim, because everyone's going to be the victim of it, unfortunately, of my forthcomings. Didn't catch the Terra ban on Reggie Drago, so we have a Terra Dragon Reggie Drago running amok in the league right now, and we're going to see what that does. Because now it's everybody's problem.
It's sad to see it overlooked in pregame, actually. When we were drafting, I was pretty aware of it. And as soon as I saw him draft that immediately with the Gliscor and a few other mons he had picked up, I go, well, this is going to be a problem for everyone this season, and hopefully people have realized it and tried to prep for it beforehand.
Not catching the Terra ban on Reggie Drago hurts, because like there is no reason that he should be able to Terra Dragon.
Yep.
Oh, just a look over on my fault, and I will be the first to admit it. So, sorry to Cheyenne, and then sorry to, let's see, in order of victims, who do we have? Oh, I'm sorry, Stoin. You get the Reggie Drago this week. Yeah, sorry to all of the victims of the Reggie Drago. It's
Do I hit it as well?
Do you get the Reggie Drago? Let's see. Yes, you do. You get the Reggie Drago week 7, my dude.
So I've already taken a neg one, so we're ideally trying to hit finals this time around. It is first draft. At least first real draft. I've done a little mock fake before we did this. So we hope I prep for it right, and I have some mons that deal with it. Who knows, I might already have the spice hidden in the roster, but we'll see. We'll see.
Reggie Drago. I'm scared for the Drago. That thing has such disgusting HP. It's just like...
See, unfortunately, and where it's going to sit is immediately before prep, the Drago is there, and then you have a Palafin in the back. Even if you want to ignore the Galarbro and Gliscor, like you have a Palafin that's going to outspeed a good chunk of your team if you wasted too many resources on Drago.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself, it demands respect both times. You hate to see the speed control.
You hate to see it. I will say though, this is an all defense versus an all firepower team.
Yes, I did not see the oomph from Miss Wine's team just to really deal with some of the threats that are coming on the opposite side. The Belly Bolt could have done some shenanigans.
We'll see how it plays out. Belly Bolt shenanigans are so funny.
Belly Bolt shenanigans are always funny. You can never underestimate the Belly Bolt.
Good first switch, which like sucks because the Palafin's obviously going to try to get out of there and U-turn or flip turn to stance change right away. But
good leads for most people this season.
Yeah, that means Belly Bolt gets hit and gets activated. So do you send in Glide? Like, what do you do? Charged up. Electromorphosis ready to go. Into the Gliscor switch. Thunderwave hurts. And now he's toxic. Ugh. Gliscor. Also the Menace. I'm so happy he made a comeback. The crit knockoff was just rude.
You hate to see it early off the Primarina. Primarina still sets up though.
Yep. Good Shadow Ball into the Gliscor.
The Magius is doing good. So
hurt.
The downside is you'd already seen the Gliscor use the knockoff once. The Shadow Ball chip was very nice, but arguably you could, because it outsped it, baited a switch beforehand.
Yep.
And baited the move to keep it alive. This way it really could have dealt with the Gliscor. Opts for the ice.
Mouse Hole's just a dick. Yeah, the Ice Beam Wind to the Snow is also really nice. Good place. Ice is really good into the team, too.
Yes, it wasn't a bad.
Good Effect Spore. Getting rid of that little mouse is crazy. Into the Spore. Way to spread status. That's beautiful.
Well, because she's running a defensive team, she does realize I have to, try to deal with this somehow.
Yep.
The Mandibuzz switch, making it happen, is nice, and she immediately gets it out of there. back into the Amogus.
Which, dual wing beat, like, you forget Gliscor's a flying type. You're so used to the same normal shenanigans. I mean, dual wing beat's viable. It's not viable, that's for sure. Rough skin here, nice. Very nice. Keeping the chip damage on the Gliscor down so he's not getting benefits from the Toxic Heal as much. Getting rid of the Slow King is very
arguably,
nice.
She should have went for the Earthquake a turn sooner.
I agree.
Arguably, the Earthquake a turn sooner.
Man, it's so free. It's just so free.
Because at this point, there's so many resources down. Anything that could have dealt with Drago is already dealt with.
Yep.
The Palafin is still in the back.
Right.
So the Palafin still just does its thing. And then Dragon Energy Sweep. Hate
Dragon
to see it.
Crazy. Hate to
see it. We'll see how people deal with it throughout the season.
Absolutely. Well played, guys. GG's only to Dramatic Wine. Rick, you're a dick. Reggie Drago. You have to name him Draco the Dick. That is your new... Because I see there's not a nickname here, sir. So this is now Drago the Dick, owned by Rick.
A lot of unnicknamed Mons, which is interesting.
I'm guilty of it too, as we're about to find out.
Yeah, a lot of unnicknamed Mons first season, which sometimes Mons aren't exactly, nickname friendly. I apologize for my Enamorous.
I didn't even catch it.
Enamordees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's appropriate.
Yeah.
We're all adults here.
We're all adults. We're all adults.
We're all adults. All right. So, this is my match versus Mr. Janus, which, Mr. Janus, I have a question for you. Is your first name Hugh? Do you go by the name of Hugh Janus? This is a question for science, purely. So, this was a Luna v Luna matchup, and I was really excited, but I was also terrified because him and I both could have ran Trick Room. We both had weather shenanigans going on. Like, it was just, going into this matchup was a, do I do it? Does he do it? Do we do it? Do neither of us do it? What the hell do we do? I was scared. I can't even lie. This was such a terrifying matchup. So yeah, I was doing last minute mocks and prep and shit, and that's why none of my Pokemon are nicknamed, and they're not even shiny. I didn't even bring a shiny Roaring Moon, my dude. Like, can't even represent what the Soko Salamence is? What is going on?
At least I brought a shiny Snorlax.
Yep.
At least I brought a shiny Snorlax.
Now, I will say, you know how this entire week one we've had amazing Terra Captain showcases? You're about to see the showcase of a lifetime. Just fucking eats a triple axle. Didn't he? And I thought about clicking Terra Water. I did. And I was like, turn one Terra? Nah. What is he gonna do? I could hit a bug move. He's gonna switch. This son of a bitch hits triple axle.
I will give it to Janus this match. He used this Meowscarada very well.
Oh,
all
the
match.
Meowscarada does so much work. Absolutely. Yes, I agree.
He played around it very well. He used the Protean on it beautifully all match. You can tell it's a bit of a comfort mon. He already knows how to play with it.
Yep. Rocky Helmet into U-turn. Let's go! Now, I hate this Pokemon. I have so much love for it. But
the fact that Torkoal lives is nutty, though.
Oh, I spect hella.
The fact that Torkoal lives is, like, props to you because, like, threatening the Yawn on it immediately makes it switch and it lets the Torkoal live. You love to see the actual sunset for Moon?
Yes, right, yes. It helps. I notably didn't run Booster Energy.
The Empoleon...
Getting that knockoff on the Eviolite was so nice there, because Dusclops is such a bulky bitch, and he can just sit there and go, hey.
Arguably better than Dusknoir. Better than Dusknoir, because Clops is so bulky that it's just, people would rather run it.
The only difference is move pool.
Yeah.
The only difference is move pool. The Dusknoir has by far the superior move pool, but Dusclops just is...
Still walls.
Yep.
Still walls.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Still walls.
Sad about the Empoleon burn here, but glad it wasn't on Moon or Luna. Surf chip damage helped me out. So this stupid Heracross gave me so much trouble in mocks.
The
So,
Heracross, it's hard to predict
because
what
it
it's
does
going
that.
to be.
Look at that. It resists, and it does just... Clefable's tanky, and I spec'd into death, and that was a good chunk.
That was still a nice switch in. Arguably, that was the best thing to eat that on your team. It recovers back pretty nice. 20%'s not that bad. Clefable does have recovery.
This turn was the turn that led to my demise. I clicked Future Sight, which was nice, but I clicked Wish. I needed to click Moonblast. If I clicked Moonblast, Luna took enough damage later for the late game.
Good predict on the Ursaluna. He thought he was predicting the Torkoal.
Yep.
Which it was... Kyle was safe on it. It's sad to see the Wish go to waste, but I
wouldn't say, and I still wouldn't say it went to waste. Having Ursaluna at full is huge, especially... Honestly, I don't know what the fuck I was doing here. I genuinely don't know what I was doing here. I don't know why I pulled Clefable out. Maybe I hope to get another Wish off. I don't know. I wish I knew. Granted, I didn't want to sack anything else. I'm really glad I changed my Empoleon set, because I ran it differently in Mox than I did in the match. And it paid off, because I needed that Flash Cannon.
Yep, that Flash Cannon is nice. It lives through both of it. The Empoleon still does what it needs to.
I like that Custap Berry play, because I want to say he did that in case I went Trick Room.
Yep.
I have a feeling that's what that was.
It was prep. He tried for it. You can only prep for so much. Your opponent doesn't take everything sometimes, you know?
Absolutely.
Future Sight once again.
We got Future Sight Wars, and it's crazy is I landed my Future Sight with a Dark-type Pokemon out.
Yep.
Not out, but...
Only one so far, week 1.
Let's go, baby!
Only one so far, but the Earthquake Stab is just pretty free at this point.
Yeah. Future Sight, go bonk.
Ursaluna still eats it pretty good.
We both hit Future Sight, and both of our Ursalunas took it.
Yep.
I love that for us. That hurt me so goddamn much.
Once again,
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I didn't know what to do. This, I just...
Beautiful Protean play.
Beautiful Protean play. I will say, he still won the match, but a misplay here was... Not there. That was great. Yeah, let's go, Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet did the first damage to Meowscarada, and Rocky Helmet did the last damage to Meowscarada.
Third Rocky Helmet set we've seen this week. People really punishing those physical attackers. People looking at other people's rosters, and that's good prep of looking at your opponent's roster going, it's mostly physical. Let me take Rocky Helmet and do it.
So this is where I think the misplay started. Not it was because you still won, but you didn't need to switch Dusclops here. I didn't kill. Like maybe on your end of the calc it did. That's why I said GG, because all you had to do was click a button with Ursaluna and click Roaring Moon. You did not need to sacrifice Dusclops and lower your differential. Also bringing in the Ursaluna back in on the Stealth Rocks.
Yep.
Unnecessary. Like, it still worked. You still won. I'm not saying it was like, oh my god, you should have done this, you're so stupid. Which, neener, that's me, because I lost.
Save your differentials while you can. Why put your opponent or yourself in a worse spot?
Absolutely.
And put your opponent in a better spot on the board?
What I was trying to do there at the end. I saw very quickly that I didn't have a path to victory unless I got lucky. I just needed to make sure I clicked the right plays in case I got lucky, and I mitigated my losses. Which is, when you're backed into a corner, what else do you do, you know?
I will say, unlike most other matches, the Terras in this one were...
underwhelming. There was no...
super underwhelming. All the other Mons did the work. You really didn't have Terras showcasing why they're strong.
Did Heracross... Heracross didn't even Terra, did it?
Heracross never Terra.
Neither did I. Look at us go, Janus. Look at us go. Look at us go. Look at us. Look at us. This is beautiful. Well played, my good man. This was a good fight. I can't wait to see what you do the rest of the season, and I'm very happy that I don't have to be on the receiving end until, hopefully, finals. Last match. Now, we have a few things to say about this match. First off, the Sir in the top, Mr. Skullhunter, is no longer a part of the draft league. They dropped out during the match, as If you read the chat, in the in the showdown fight, you'll see what's going on. But I really just don't. Just watch the fight. Please don't pay attention to the chat. I shouldn't have even fucking brought attention to it. Let's be honest.
It needs to be said. It just, I don't know. Just make sure if you join draft leagues, reread their rules, double check. Don't assume that a league has certain rules. Make sure you really do check, or you ask whoever is running the league before you make commitments and all the rest of that. That being said,
I will say though, I do think Mr. Skullhunter got in Blizzard's head because there was a fit thrown.
yeah,
And when your opponent does that, like, what do you like? That does something to your morale, whether that be for negative or for worse. Because
it throws off how you play, especially if it's a week one and you're already nervous about your team.
Especially because we don't know each other, everybody here, all that well. Like, there's a bunch of new people here, so like, people are trying to get along with everybody and make everybody happy, and
you always have clashing personalities.
Somewhere. Yep. But I will say, Blizzard, thank you for being a sport. You played the situation well. So kudos to you, and I'm very excited to see what you do for the rest of the season. So let's get this, unfortunately for you, shitfest out of the way, and never have to worry about it ever again. Ever again. Look at this. It was so bad, man. I'm so sorry.
The Orthworm right off the bat setting up for free was very nice.
Yes, I did like the Orthworm plays.
He immediately knew he could just kind of go for it, and he honestly went for it.
He took that advantage, and he, as we'll see here in a couple of turns, not the spoilers, but he takes out a Great Tusk. The Worm takes out a Great Tusk, which is awesome because
did wait a turn to hit the knockoff.
Yeah, good play there. It's just a battle of attrition at this point. I genuinely don't know why he didn't switch out the Dawn.
I don't think. I think it's just being stubborn after a certain point, and also if you're not running calcs, if you haven't run mocks, so you don't have an idea for how much damage it does, anyways, you just assume you can kill it. Yep. I think after the first few turns there, it should have been apparent it wasn't going to happen.
Greninja was just free.
I was going to say, especially when Ninja just does what it does, and it's just going to sweep.
Yep, Battle Bond. Yep. It's just a bad typing matchup into the Greninja, and Greninja being able to do what he does, unfortunately.
And you have no way of just being able to counteract it, not enough priority to deal with it, or nothing that
this was really crazy, though. Double protect, let's go.
Especially for this speed boost, I understand why. If it was already spec'd for speed, that the second speed boost.
Which is so crazy because it still didn't outspeed.
Yeah, it still didn't outspeed.
It still didn't outspeed. All he needed to hit was one Dazzling Gleam, man, and it was game. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate.
Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do, yeah. Same shenanigans. Greninja was just a free type matchup. But this is what you get for not running calcs, because Funny Monkey Man came in and just said mine, which unfortunately I wish you would have done that sooner, buddy. I wish you would have done that switch a lot sooner. And he lived the Luster Purge. Yeah.
So
you needed to bring the monkey out a little sooner.
By no means will I tell people how to run their drafts, how to play your games, and all the rest of that. I will say I do think mocks are beneficial. Just if nothing else, you have an idea for what Pokemon you're trying to keep in the back for certain threats, what Pokemon you're really going to struggle with and you need to take out first.
I do want to point out that we're talking about Blizzard ran mocks. We're not talking about Blizzard and his situation here. We're talking about Mr. Pandemonium and his... He got... Like, yes, he won the match, but there was too much of an air of cockiness and, like, I'm dropping. Like, it was so dumb. The whole situation was just so messed up.
He ate such a big differential there at the end.
Right.
You hate to see the realization, because if he would have saw that earlier, he could have seen that Espathra come in. Same thing with the Ogerpon, because the Ogerpon Wellspring is pretty good into most of that team as well. So just to lose it faster, and you realize, especially in the heat of everything, it's always easier said than done. You know, try to keep calm, set mood music for yourself. I personally don't type a whole lot most of the time when I play. I don't like to talk to my opponent. You can type whatever. I'll probably address you after the game's done.
Right.
But I can like just kind of block that out, and you have the timer. That's all you need to worry about.
Yep.
You have the timer on the clock. That is the only constraint upon your battle. Other than that, you're playing at home, and all the rest of that's not like we're in a public setting. Make it comfy for yourself. Drop some tea. Set some mood music. Have some lighting.
Light some candles. Get your cat on your lap. Have a good time.
Yeah, have a good time. It's end of the day. This is all for fun. I mean, this is a big time commitment for us. Not all to have fun. I'm interested to see some week twos. Hopefully, we see those who didn't show off their Terra captains.
Hey, don't just at me like that. You can't just at me like that. Blizzard, you played well. I am sorry that you were another victim of the week 1 shenanigans that happened.
Week 1's weird.
Week 1's always weird, but good luck to everybody in week 2. We're gonna kick some ass, and I can't wait to see the good battles. Oh! Before we go, play of the week.
Play of the week.
I know I closed all the windows like a jackass. I can go reopen them.
Honestly, I really loved that Terra Fairy weight. I really loved the Terra Fairy weight because the mind games behind that, because guarantee if you're playing against that, you doubt yourself 2-3 different turns, especially when you don't see it. You're just like, what the fuck Terra is it? It rattles you a little bit, whether or not you want it to or not, because it's just, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? And he pulled it out at the perfect time.
Yeah, no, that was...
Gun drawn at the perfect time, just...
I am with you. I was completely, I was sitting, I'm pretty sure I was sitting here at the PC watching that match, and I don't remember where I was, but I remember standing up and going, what the fuck did I just watch? Because it was funny. Like, that U-turn, I'm so sorry it had to happen to you, but it had to happen to somebody, man. And it was just...
I think if I'm going to have a runner-up, Stoin's Rhydon setting up for free with the defensive Terra. He really read that well. And, I mean, out of the MVPs, because we had a lot of high Pokemon MVPs, myself and Stoin both had split Pokemon MVPs. He had a 3 and a 2. I had a 2 and a 2. So to see that defense, it's because it's a defensive Terra typing on the Rhydon. Oh, yeah. So you love to see a defensive Terra typed Pokemon just really put some respect on its name.
What are our top, we'll say...
It's the Ninja, the Drago, Meowscarada.
See, top 5 goes to, and then Torn and Walking Wake. Which, I mean, all of those make sense. It really sucks, because they're at the beginning of the week.
I will give it to Eli, because I know the Torn was prep behind the Torn. It is a personal custom Torn. I helped the man a little. I ran a few calcs for him and everything, so I will say I do love to see a personal set hit high up on the...
No nasty plot. There was no... I want to say there was even minimal EV investment in a special attack.
It was just offensive pivot. Or defensive pivot.
Yep.
That's right, defensive pivot. So I love to see more of a defensive mon hit the top 5.
Notables in the runner-up, we've got a Hitmonchan, number 7, on the MVP. That's freaking awesome.
I really struggled to deal with that.
Yeah.
I really struggled to deal with that Chan. I did not prep for it.
Rhydon creeping up there. My Ursaluna.
You gotta love to see a Choice Chi-Yu still do its thing, and surprisingly Donphan. So despite the speed creep, Donphan still does its thing, which I love how bulky it is.
Yep.
Love how bulky it is.
Going into week 2, we do have a replacement for Pandemonium, so welcome on board Sumi with the Meteor City Metagrosses.
I love that.
Right, yeah. That's
love that. I saw that and I'm like, that's sad you don't have a logo, because I'm like...
Win the tournament.
Yeah.
You win the tournament, you get a logo. That's the rules, baby.
Everyone has all these cool names, and then...
Lichen Lax.
I
like it, though. I don't know. I like it. I like the Lichen Lax.
Oh, God, dude. We could start some tongue twisters with that.
We could. One more thing I want to do. Which match out of the 7 do you think could be used as a form of learn from this in a bad way. No offense to the people who played bad, but like we've seen good matches. We watch good matches all the time. Which match?
It's easy. It's just mine. It's just mine. Check your prep before you go in. I turned what should have been because Dallas and I had talked. I know Dallas had struggled in his mocks. I did very well in my mocks. Because I did not double check everything, I arguably made it 10 times harder, and I took a loss.
And there were actually, you did, and there were actually a lot of, I think that was the match with the most misplays. You had the Burning Jealousy misplay into the...
Baxcalibur as well, which means I didn't even look at the Baxcalibur.
Yep. Baxcalibur getting greedy with the Dragon Dance, the lack of Terra, the...
Dallas also didn't have his own item, so even if the back set up, he wouldn't have had the loaded dice, because I'm assuming that's what it would have been, which was loaded dice, so he wouldn't have gotten max probability.
You shouldn't hit Pain Split there at the end. Yeah, lots of blunders from that match. Like, most of the matches, like, there was blunders, of course, because inevitably you're going to fuck up somewhere, but those were just general misplays, you know what I mean?
And so a lot of those on his and my end, just said it so many times to stream, just double check your teams before you play. You know, I understand wanting to get it out of the way and everyone has time constraints, but don't be afraid to wait a minute and double check your team.
Nope.
So we hope for better luck into week 2. I'm playing Mr. Blizzard later today.
9th. That loss kicked my butt cheeks. It's okay. I'm gonna clap some next week. I'm gonna be above that line next week.
I barely scraping by above that line. So how did I place above you?
So it probably checks things like
the MVPs.
Yeah, you do have 2 higher MVPs than I do. We had the same differential.
It's literally MVPs because you only have 1-2 kill.
Yeah,
I had 2.
Yeah.
Jesus, comes down to the bitter thing sometimes.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what week 2 happens as everyone settles into what they're doing. A lot of people have made a lot of really big trades already. Sumi, of course, coming in and drafting
basically revamping the entire team. Yeah, and I really like the changes.
Yep.
I really like the changes. Yeah, something different. They went with a theme and they're sticking to it, and it's gonna be really fun. Yeah, week 2 is gonna be crazy. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Mike, for joining us today. Yeah. It was a good time, and we will catch all of y'all on the flip side. Deuces.